A Test of Faith, a poem by 777. A time has come for those who see that freedom to choose one's destiny no longer belongs to you and me, dissolving the illusion that we are free by trading away their liberty for an imagined sense of security. On 9/11, a virus was induced. A fear of others was introduced. Mainstream media was to boost. An overwhelming panic was set loose. Weapons of mass destruction were the fake excuse, so that perpetual wars were produced. A bill was presented right away. The Patriot Act was passed that day, usurping our rights without delay, promising safety they did convey. Fearing death, the public did obey. Little did they know of the plan underway. A bad religion was the smear. Many were willing to volunteer to make that threat disappear. The fearful began to cheer. Millions have died because of that fear. These despots profited year after year. They recognized their success. More fears they began to impress, that our economic security was in distress. A financial collapse they did finesse. Bank bailouts were needed, they did stress, delaying collapse of this manufactured mess. Seeing how well the puppets were played, and silencing those wise to their charade, plan after plan had been laid. Many other events were then masquerade, to keep the public always afraid, never realizing total control was the crusade. An awakening to their plans had amassed. It was growing and growing fast. An outsider ran for president at last. His support was unsurpassed. The trump card had been cast. The despots were absolutely aghast. The new world order in danger of being smashed in their minds as their plans were being dashed. Visions of life in prison had flashed. An impeachment plan had to be hatched. All the lies, dossiers, and leaks they passed against Trump's wall, they all crashed. Out of options these devils did devise a last-ditch attempt for them to survive. From their labs they did synthesize a virus they would customize. The media would highly publicize the president's every move they criticize. The fear of death seemed to work best. Viral outbreaks had passed the test. Noting the high levels of citizen unrest, pre-planned, who'd have guessed? An invisible enemy in the chest, a horrible death the media expressed. As the fear began to take hold, prophetic apocalypses were retold. Their plan began to unfold. An epidemic of death was sold. Medical martial law was unrolled. Stay in your home, all were told. Wash your hands was the cure, and stay away from others for sure. On every door was a brochure, closed to flatten the curve to ensure. They said the virus would always endure. Safety from this virus they must ensure. In our homes we all now sit, afraid of the virus we might get. On every surface it may transmit, from the breath it may emit. Only essential activities will they permit. Suicide many people now commit. Normality is being transformed. Plans are now being formed to prevent you from being harmed. An armband or card must be adorned, or a tattoo with a chip you may be armed, to prove that you have conformed. The time is now at hand, a decision on how you will stand. When they make their command, the Bill of Rights will be banned. Then you must accept their brand and submit to the dictates of the homeland. To defy them will be very hard. From public places you will be barred. Many needs you may not afford. The seriousness cannot be underscored. Many may face the sword. There may be no earthly reward. Our faiths are being put to the test when extreme fear of dying so manifests, not believing where ultimate power rests, no longer able to live our lives with zest, by complying with government's enforced request, locking us down to keep us safe in our nests. I do not know how this will end. As for me, my will not bend. Our God-given rights we must always defend, putting all my trust in the Creator's hands. Sacrificing these rights I don't intend. This virus of fear we must transcend. As I see it, this is the only way to ascend. Thanks for listening to this poem I've penned.